Thrilled to have so many people logging in. Great topic today. We can all use help with interviewing. So we'll begin shortly, but while you're joining us, please use the chat box. Let us know where you're zooming in from and the type of work that you're looking for. It's always exciting to see where our audience is joining us from. Welcome also to our in-person audience. As a reminder, after our next job club on Tuesday, September the 12th, for those that attend in person, we do have a professional photographer joining us that day for LinkedIn headshots. So if you're close enough to come in person, September 12th, you will have the opportunity immediately after Job Club to have a professional headshot photo taken for your LinkedIn profile. And welcome to Job Club. Our agenda for today is we'll share some success stories that have been emailed since last Job Club. We'll have our main speaker. We'll share some active job leads, partner updates, and then we'll let you know what our next topic for Job Club will be. The mission of Job Club is to provide a positive environment for job seekers to network, learn best practices for their job search. We meet the second and the fourth Tuesday of the month, and you can find our schedule at www.ukalumni.net/Job Club. Our Job Club facilitation team, I'm Caroline Francis, Director of UK Alumni Career Services. We are joined by Diana Doggett with Extension Special Projects, Nicole Waite, Employment Specialist with UK STEPS. We also have Amy Gamblin, Associate Director of UK Alumni Career Services. We also have Suzanne Smith, Sunny Saylor, working behind the scenes here at Extension, Queen Sullivan, and Christy Kaufman with UK Alumni Association helping us pull off Job Club today. A reminder that Job Club is in a hybrid format. We're in person here at the Fayette County Extension Office. Our in-person attendees can always take advantage of practicing after Job Club, your 30-second commercial, networking, lots of good exchange goes on after Job Club meetings for those that are able to join us in person. For Zoom, the people that are able to come from all over the country, we welcome you. And Facebook Live, but Facebook Live is view only. There's no chat moderation or job lead newsletter if you're only watching it by Facebook Live. We encourage you to review our free resource packet. Lots of great articles and information regarding your job search. We also encourage you to join our Kentucky Job Club LinkedIn group. This is where we post lots of job leads. We get every day many job leads that come in, and some of them are timely. So please make it part of your job search, whether you're an active job seeker or not actively job seeking and just kind of thinking about a job search. Keep an eye on that LinkedIn group. Fabulous jobs are coming into that group every day. Employers and recruiters are always welcome at Job Club. In-person employers may have 1 minute at the end of Job Club to share their active job leads. We can also share via Zoom through the microphone share feature for employers that may be joining us online. And at the end, we'll have you raise your hand to share those active job leads. Some attendees are conducting a confidential job search, so we ask that you're respectful of names or things you may see in the chat box, or if you're in person, just be respectful of other people's situations. Please check out our job search related articles that are included in the Job Club email reminder. We send a reminder before each Job Club, and then after Job Club today, this afternoon, you will get a follow-up newsletter with some job leads that have been also sent to us. Recordings and PowerPoint slides are available at ukalumni.net/job club. So many wonderful past presentations that can help you in your search. So take some time and go watch those. Welcome to our first timers. You will receive a survey later today that'll get you in our system if you're a first timer. You can also scan the QR code that you're seeing on your screen, and that will also get you in the system. Again, welcome to folks that are joining us, good attendance online. Welcome to all the people that are coming in the door here at the Extension office for our live audience. Success stories are a highlight of what we do. We've had 2 fabulous success stories sent in since last Job Club, and we know that each of our participants, you are also going to be a success story one day, and we can't wait to celebrate with you. Success can be in a lot of different ways. Maybe it's the job lead, but perhaps you've updated your LinkedIn profile or your resume, or maybe you've scheduled some networking coffees, or perhaps you've had a few interviews. I know I'm hearing from a lot of clients that are getting some interviews. So this is all success. In the chat box, share with us, what are some successes that you've had in the last couple of weeks in your job search? Please share those in the chat box. While you're typing in the chat box, I'm going to share 2 that have been emailed to us. We're sharing these with permission. And again, please email us when you do land that next job. This is from Sam, and he's been attending Job Club for 2 months. He's been attending in person. He says among its presentations that keep its members up to date on lots of current job trends and job search strategies, he said that networking cannot be emphasized enough in the job search. He said that through 2 connections he made by simply walking into a business that he was targeting and handing in a resume and asking to talk to the relevant staff person, he was able to make headway in his job search. So he says, do not spend an extreme amount of time on the internet. Get out, walk out into businesses, hand that resume in. He recently landed a position in his field with GNC as a manager. He said Job Club also is worth coming to. He commutes from about an hour away. He said he's had fun and he's found these meetings very beneficial. So congratulations, Sam. We're thrilled for you. Also, we heard from Zara. Zara's been really active on our Zoom Job Club for the last few months. She says, I'm happy to share that I've accepted and have started my new job as a behavioral health services systems coordinator with the Kentucky Department for Behavioral Health and Technical Project Specialist with UK Healthcare. And that's all one role. She said, after 4 months of dedication, perseverance, discipline, vulnerability, and self-development, plus actively applying to jobs and attending Job Club, that she has found this job. She said at the beginning of her search, she was very hesitant to share with her network that she was looking for a new opportunity. But after a month or so of her initial search, she decided to send a LinkedIn update. And fortunately, people in her network reached out, and one of the people that she had served on a committee with back in 2020 said they were willing to help her and put in a good word for her with their company. That eventually led to an interview, and she's thrilled about this opportunity to utilize her skill set. So congratulations, Zara. Thank you for being so active the last few months in Job Club. You've been a really strong attendee in that chat box, and we appreciate your support. Do we have some success stories, Diana, that have come in the chat box?
We do, Caroline. Antoinette has had interviews and is working on next week. And Pfister has started a part-time position at Greenbox Immersive Marketing. And Shamak has received 2 or 3 job interviews in a week or 2, and it's a good idea to request feedback on how you did. The question is it a good idea to request feedback on how you did at the job interview from your interview?
Excellent. That's a great question. We'll have our speaker address that from his perspective. Let's roll right into our speaker. These are awesome success stories, so keep up the good work. Fall is a great time to renew your job search efforts, and we can't wait to hear your success stories. Well, back by popular demand is Ronnie Perchik. He's the Chief Operating Officer for the NLP Group, based in the Chicago area. He's a UK alum. Thrilled to have him share his expertise from his side of the table. He has over 25 years of experience. He's a seasoned professional who successfully held senior level executive positions in business verticals, including marketing services, digital media, internet related marketing, and now executive search. So he knows what he's talking about and can help us all. His core areas of expertise include executive level operations, employee recruitment, and motivation sales and revenue generation, as well as client retention, marketing, and P&L management. Ronnie has been involved with the NLP Group as an advisor since 2013 and joined on a full-time basis as the Chief Operating Officer in January of 2015. Ronnie, thank you for joining us, and I can't wait to learn from you today.
Thanks, Caroline. And welcome, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. Please feel free to ask questions as I go through the presentation, and looking forward to sharing my insights and my experiences, which go back to when my first hire was when I was 24 years old. So I've been coached and trained in this area, and look forward to sharing all of the information I can to help you in your search and to provide tips and insights into making your search successful. Let's see. Amy, I don't seem to have control of the presentation.
You have control.
Oh, there we go. So we've titled the presentation today, Nailing the Interview. And again, what I'll be doing is taking you through preparation, interaction, and also follow-up that will make your interviews more successful. Just a little bit about, again, my apologies, I'm having issues controlling the presentation. Amy, if you just want to go to the next screen, if you can control it for me. There we go. So a little bit about who we are. The NLP Group, we were actually founded in 2008 by my wife, Nicole and Perchik. That's the NLP and the NLP Group. We're a premier Chicago executive search firm. We work on a client-driven relationship model. What that means is 2 things: is we work specifically with clients to assist them in their hiring needs. And from a relationship perspective, we really get in deep with our clients. We have a select few clients. We know their business well beyond a product or service. We know culture, work environment, and the various personalities in the organization, which allows us to be a true extension of their brand in the marketplace when it comes to sourcing talent. Our clients are both nationally and internationally, and we work on senior level to executive level placements from startup to Fortune 500 companies. Next slide. So I want to start off with the word I don't like, which is failure. But I want to list and kind of set the standard for what you're working from. This is from an article I read probably about 5 or 6 years ago, which I agree 100%. And these are why candidates fail in interviews. There's so many people who come out of an interview and they kind of scratch their head and say, I don't understand why I'm moving forward because I'm perfect for this job. And that may well be, but the problem is that a lot of people don't know how to communicate or articulate why they're perfect for the role. And that's where this list of reasons really comes into play. So a big pet peeve of mine with candidates is the inadequate preparation. People look at interviewing as a sideline, something I might try and do, something I kind of dip my toe in the water. Interviewing is a full-time job. And I know that's difficult when you're currently in a full-time job, but you need to put in the time and energy from preparation, from learning about the company that you're going to be interviewing with, by not going in and winging it. And this is probably the number one reason why people fail in interviews, is people believe that they can talk about themselves forever. And thus they feel they can go into an interview and be able to communicate appropriately about themselves to get the job. That's a huge mistake. You know, the first part is true. You can talk about yourself forever, but an interview requires depth, facts, and details. And most people can't recall the specific facts and details necessary to convince an interviewer to move you forward. So we'll get back to that in a bit of why that's so important. Along with that, people are unable to articulate their accomplishment stories. They can do it at a very high level, but they can't get the details or the facts necessary to convince the interviewer. A lot of people get into negatives. When asked, why are you looking for a new job, or why did you leave this company? But people will get into negatives, which creates a personal picture of yourself that is not desirable for a hiring company. Not having questions for the interviewer. Not having questions shows a lack of interest, a lack of detail. Omitting a thank you note. This is a highly competitive job market right now. So simple things like sending an email after the interview to the interviewer can actually get you disqualified. And so little things like that are really, really necessary. Neglecting to follow up and discounting the courtship. Interviewing is a courtship, and I've actually written a series of blogs that interviewing is like dating. And I'll touch on that a bit as well, but don't discount the courtship. You're courting them, they're courting you. It should be a back and forth communication. So 3 areas I'm going to focus on today in being able to nail the interview. First will be preparation. Second will be the interview interaction, the actual back and forth during the interview. And then last, and this is an area people fail in quite a bit, is the actual follow-up. A lot of times the follow-up can be the most important aspect of the interview. So let's jump into preparation. Preparation is key. If you're not ready for the interview, if you're not prepared for the interview, then there's no way to be successful for the interview. Start your preparation several days before the actual interview. The more you prepare, the stronger you're going to be in the interview. Know who you're interviewing with, where you're interviewing, when, meaning time, how long is the interview. There's different preparation for a 30-minute interview versus a 60-minute interview. What type of interview is it? Is it a phone call? Is it in person? Is it a Zoom? Those all require individual preparation as well. And then what to wear. Our philosophy at the NLP group is that you can never be overdressed. You're showing up in a coat and tie or in a business suit in a casual environment will always be excused. But if you show up casually in a business environment, that will not be excused. And little things like that will get you disqualified. Know where the interview is and how long it's going to take you to get there. Tardiness is obviously a no-no. It just sends the first message to the potential hiring company that you're not responsible and that what you do in the interview is obviously going to carry over to what you would do if you were actually hired. If you listen to nothing else I talk about in this presentation, and I hope you listen to all of it, but if you listen to nothing else, pay attention to the next point. This, I think, is the biggest and most important thing you can do to prepare for an interview, and it's what we call anticipation of questions. Anticipating the questions before the actual interview. And this is why you start a couple of days before. By anticipating the questions, you're able to script out how you want to answer the questions in the interview. That means when you get asked a question in the interview, you won't be surprised, you won't stumble, you won't be unprepared with the answer. There's two types of questions that are asked in most every interview. One is what we call the common questions. These are just general questions that are asked in virtually every interview. You know, what kind of role are you looking for? What's your biggest success? What's your strength? What's your weakness? Why are you interested in our company? Things like that. And then the complex, or what we call direct questions, those are the questions that specifically relate to the role that you're interviewing for. It's easy to anticipate those because they'll be on the job description. They'll be under the area of skills and requirements. And so by literally getting out a notepad and writing out a list of questions that you anticipate, and then how you want to answer the question, will put you in a much better position to be able to provide the detail and specifics about yourself that qualifies you for the role. And let me give you a really quick example. What's the biggest sale you ever made? Well, my biggest sale was to our largest client where we doubled the sales and I led the team. Now that might seem like an adequate answer, but that's a terrible answer. There's no substance, there's no detail, there's no depth. As opposed to my largest sale was to General Mills, where we took them from 20 to $40 million and increased the margin by 6%. I led the team through the entire process, including setting the meetings, putting together the presentations, developing the proposal, and negotiating the final terms. Now that's an answer. And the reason I can do that and provide those facts and details in depth is because I've given it forethought. I've predetermined how I would answer that question prior to going into the interview. There's two things you never want to say at the end of an interview. One is, I wish I would have said this. And the second is, I can't believe I said that. Both of those things are negatives. I wish I would have said this means you've left out valuable information about yourself that could have been a difference maker to move you forward. I can't believe I said that. Well, that is usually either irrelevant or sometimes inappropriate information that you share while because your brain is putting together thoughts, words, and sentences, and your mouth just keeps talking. Both of those are bad. You never want to say those at the end of an interview, obviously. The last thing I'll say on this topic or this section is, if you ever watch the daily press conferences by our presidents, the press secretary will walk into the media room and they walk in with this great big binder. They put it right on the podium. They don't even try and hide it. In that binder is every conceivable question that they're going to be asked by the press. And when they're asked the question, they simply flip to the page and they read out the answer. That's the drill. That's the discipline that I'm describing here. So make sure you anticipate the questions, you're fully prepared. It will put you at a point in the interview to be able to provide the information necessary to move forward. Another key part of preparation is research. And when I say this in our trainings, people will say, well, of course I research, I research the company, I research the position. Most people just scratch the surface in this area. So make sure not only are you researching the company by going to their website, their financial report, Glassdoor, research as much as you can so you know as much as possible about the company, and do it right up to the interview. You never know when there's going to be new news about a company that you can potentially use in the actual interview to show them you're on top of the game, that you've got insight and information about them. Obviously, you want to research the interviewer. Make sure that you go to LinkedIn and also Google. Just Google their name. That's a really easy way to find out a lot about the individual, both professionally and personally. Research people in the company that have the same title that you're interviewing for. There's a couple reasons for this. Number one, you want to look for parallels or synergies or similarities between yourself and those people. If they have a similar background, then that bodes well for you in the interview, something you can actually refer to in the interview. The other thing you want to look at is you want to look at tenure of those people. If you're interviewing at a company and for a specific position, and you see several people in that role with short tenures and lots of turnover, then that's a potential red flag and something that you want to learn more about in the actual interview when it comes to you asking questions. Also try and understand the hierarchy. You can do this by looking at LinkedIn, looking at the various titles, also going to the website. Hierarchy is important, especially for more senior level positions, because you want to understand where you fit in the organization. Is it really a leadership type position, or are you just one of many individuals with the big title in the company? So, look at that as well. Last is develop your questions for the interviewer prior to the interview. Get out that notepad again, make notes. Write out your actual questions, take it into the interview. So when you have the opportunity to ask questions, you're organized and you have them in front of you. I always say 3 to 5, 3 as a minimum. Make sure the questions too are developed from your research. Don't ask fluffy questions or insincere questions. Interviewers really have a disdain for that. Again, it shows a lack of interest. It shows a lack of depth. So let your research develop the questions. And as you're doing your research, things that you're not understanding about the company or specific details about the company that you want more detail on, let that lead your questions. Okay, next area we'll focus on is the actual interview. So in the interview, and this is critical as well as to understand the timing of the interview. Is it a 30-minute interview? Is it a 60-minute interview? This will drive your answers and your interaction during the interview, and always make sure you're aware of the time as you go through the interview. The number one piece of feedback that we get from our clients is that the candidate did not answer the question. And so our recommendation and our coaching here is make sure you understand each question prior to answering it. Use a simple tip here: listen, pause, and then answer. The reason I recommend this is because sometimes candidates will hear a key word in the question, and that's what they will focus on. And they'll start searching for their answer based on that key word, missing maybe the context that key word has been used. So I always tell candidates, this isn't Jeopardy. You don't have to buzz in first to be able to answer the question. You're the only contestant. So listen, pause, and then answer the question completely. When you answer your question, make sure you get a receipt for the answer. And by receipt, what I mean is some sort of acknowledgement from the interviewer that they're satisfied with your answer. Now, if you're in person or you're on a Zoom interview, that's through body language. That's, simple things by, looking at the interviewer and seeing where their eye contact is. Is their head nodding up and down? Do they look connected to you? Are they taking notes? Those are all positives. Obviously, negatives would be if they're staring off into space, or they're doodling on their page, or they're sitting back with their arms folded. That typically indicates that your answers aren't hitting home, and you need to adjust your answers as you continue. For phone interviews, obviously you can't see the individual, so you have to use verbal communication to get confirmation and receipts for your answers. If an interviewer pauses, and the rule of thumb that we always use is 3 seconds, is that if there's 3 seconds of silence after your answer, then you should ask one of these questions to get a receipt for your answer. And they are something to the effect of, does that answer your question? Is that what you were looking for? Do you need me to expand? Or what I do all the time is just simply say, okay. And by doing that, you'll draw the person, the interviewer, back into the conversation, and they'll give you acknowledgement of, that's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. Or they'll say, I'm sorry, I was just taking notes, or someone walked in my office. Either way, you get the confirmation that's necessary so that you know that your answers are hitting home. And for whatever reason, if they say, that's not what I was looking for, then that opens up the door for you to readdress the question and re-answer it. Remember in interviewing that it is a selfish process. So especially at the beginning of the interview process, your answers need to be all about them, all about the company. Companies hire because they have an opening, which is a pain point in the organization. That means they're either losing sales, customer service, other people are having to cover hours for another individual. So those are all pain points. Your answers need to be geared towards how you eliminate that pain point. It's not about you. So if asked, why are you interested in this role? You don't want to say, well, I need a job. I want to make more money. I'm looking to advance my career. I'm looking to get more experience. Those are all things that don't benefit the hiring company. That will come later in the interview process. But what you need to do is articulate how you can come into the organization and be a benefit, to bring skills and expertise, and to help them eliminate that pain point. In interviewing, make sure you're using strong language. Now, I'm not talking about swear words here. What I'm talking about is that companies don't hire average people. Let me give you a quick example here. If you go in for LASIK eye surgery and the surgeon walks in the office and says, yeah, I'm pretty good at doing this procedure, and yeah, I've had some success doing this before, and yeah, most people like what I do and how it ends up. If the surgeon said that, you'd probably go sprinting out of the office. But if the surgeon walks in and says, I've won awards for my ability to do this procedure, my colleagues send me referrals all the time because they know I'm the best at this procedure. Using strong language like that is very appropriate in an interview. Don't worry about being humble or modest. You're being asked a question, so you should give an accurate, direct answer, and don't worry about the modesty. The modesty is for the people who don't move forward in the interview. You want to give an accurate description of your abilities and use strong language, because again, companies don't hire average people. In your answers, be honest, but don't be too honest. Now, I'm not advocating that you lie here. What I'm saying is answer the question and then stop talking. People over answer questions all the time. And typically when they do that, they get into personal or irrelevant topics that have nothing to do with the interview. Again, you never want to leave an interview saying, I can't believe I said that. This goes back to not being prepared with your answer. Because again, as the mouth is communicating while the brain is looking for thoughts, words, and sentences to answer the question, a lot of times things come out of the mouth that should never be mentioned in an interview. So again, be honest, but don't be too honest. As you get to the end of the interview, you'll be asked questions, and you should pull out your notepad, ask the questions that you've prepared, and make sure you write down the answers. Again, this is another article that I read and which I agree with. It talked about when people ask questions at the end of the interview and don't take notes, it shows two things. Number one is that the question wasn't sincere. And number two was a lack of attention to detail. Always write down your answers. That segues to a couple of tips that we always recommend to candidates at the end of the interview. One is, at the end of the interview, give a closing statement. We've all seen the political debates, and where the politicians get 30 to 45 seconds at the end of the debate to be able to articulate why they are the best candidate for the position. Same thing in an interview. You should prepare a closing statement the night before, 3 to 5 sentences that articulates why you're the best candidate for this position. And then at the end of the interview, when it's time to close the deal, you start off with your closing statement, and then the last thing you do is close. You're there to get a job, correct? You're not there to make friends. You're not there to network. You're not there because you don't have better things to be doing with your time. You're there to get a job. So in words that you're comfortable with, you should ask for the job. Something like, I've really enjoyed our conversation and I'd really be interested in this position. Do you have any reservations at all about moving me forward in the process? That's very appropriate. Sometimes people think it's overbearing. It's not. Again, you're there to get the job. So ask for the job, and more than likely, the interviewer will give you a direct, immediate feedback and say, yeah, we're very excited as well. We're going to move you forward in the process. Or they may say something to the effect of, we really like you, but we're a little concerned about X, Y, and Z. If they say that, that actually opens the door for you to address X, Y, and Z. And so that you can, potentially move forward and address whatever concerns they have. Okay. So that takes us to after the interview. Now, several things happen after the interview. The first thing is, if you're working with a recruiter or a contact, or I've heard a couple of people talk about networking, which is critical in this job market. After the interview, make sure you follow up with whoever it is that helped put you in touch with that position. They're another source of information. They're a source for potential coaching. And if it's a recruiter or a contact, then they can potentially get direct feedback for you as well. Critical and important is send after the interview. And we always say between 12 to 24 hours. Actually, I think it's up to 12 hours. I'm more comfortable with that. Send a typo-free email to the interviewer or recruiter to express, first of all, your gratitude and them taking time to speak with you, restating your case as to why you're a qualified candidate for their role. And last is to either reiterate next steps that were discussed or close them again. I can't emphasize enough that the email cannot have typos. Grammatically, it has to be appropriate. It can't have mistakes. It needs to be professionally written. In this competitive job market, and it is a very competitive market, simple things like error-filled email can disqualify you for the role. So what we always do with our clients is we have the candidates send us the email to review it before they send it. Find someone that you trust from that perspective to review the email before you send it. Sometimes a second set of eyes is really, really important. If you're not working with a recruiter and you're just working direct with the company, if you haven't heard from the interviewer or the company within 3 to 5 days, make sure you follow up with them. The follow-up it's another sign of interest on your part. It's a totally appropriate. You've taken time out of your day to interview with them. They owe you an answer. Make it professional, make it very friendly, but absolutely you should follow up and follow through. And then a couple things, people always look at the immediacy of interviewing and it's a win or lose type situation. Well, we look at it as a long-term situation. So if you don't move forward with the company or you don't get the position, make sure you connect with the interviewer via LinkedIn. Make sure you stay in contact with them. You follow them, because you never know when down the road, maybe this role wasn't the exact right role for you in that organization, but maybe they have other opportunities down the road. So if you're professional and you follow up and follow through and stay in contact, you never know. We place candidates all the time after the initial contact, after the initial position that we present them for. And that's not by accident. It's something we do as a discipline, that we have a database of candidates that we talk to, but we also have candidates that reach out and stay in touch with us. I literally just got a candidate that I placed 3 years ago reach out to me yesterday, and she's making a career move. She wanted to touch base with me just for a quick chat. And so make sure you stay in touch with the people, even if you don't get the job. Okay, some closing thoughts. As I mentioned earlier, interviewing is like dating. If it's not going to work out, it's always better to figure that out sooner rather than later. But also you go into dating and the synergies between that and interview are very consistent. So keep it light, be yourself. Make sure that you're not pretending to be someone that you're not, because if you are, you might get the job, but that means you probably won't be able to do it. This is a very highly competitive work environment, so you have to be professional. You have to be prepared. Don't look for there are no second chances in interviews. So make sure that you're thoroughly prepared. And people talk about being nervous all the time going into interviews. I promise you that if you're thoroughly prepared for the interview, you won't be nervous. You'll actually be looking forward to it, because you'll have all the information ready to present to the interviewer to sell them on you being the right person for the job. Look under every stone, definitely network, but be strategic as you network. This is advice I give all the time for people in the job market. It's great to network and reach out to other people, but to help and assist you in your job search, but keep in mind that their time is valuable too. So when you network, have specifics in mind to ask them. As an example, if you're looking for a job at a specific company and you know someone who works at that company, when you reach out to them, let them know the specific job that you're interested in. Don't make them do the work for you. So be very strategic in your approach. Separate yourself in a positive way. Again, these are little things. Your questions in the interview, your follow-up after the interview, how you're dressed. Simple things like in a Zoom interview, if you have business attire on for that interview, that sends a positive signal immediately to the interviewer, and that is something that could set you apart from someone else. Stay professional in this process, and keep in mind that it's not personal for the hiring company. Hiring companies are trying to go through a process to find the best qualified candidate for the role. The last thing they want to do is put someone into a position that they're not qualified for. So if you don't get the job, just respect that they know enough that just wasn't the right opportunity for you. Again, keep it professional, stay in touch, stay in contact, because you never know, maybe you will develop the skills down the road that they are looking for. And so that can be an opportunity. Last thing is, don't cut corners. Interviewing it is a full-time job. Don't do it as a sideline. Don't do it halfway. Set yourself apart by putting in the work, putting in the effort. And I promise you, if you do, that will come forward and show the company and the people you're interviewing your interest level, your talents, your skills, and how they align with the roles that they're hiring for. Okay, we'll open it up to questions. I saw some the chat box pop up, but happy to take any questions that you have at this point.
Audience question for you.
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me? I'm sure you can hear me. Let's try this. Okay, our in-person audience question, Ronnie, is if you could talk a little bit about the STAR interview technique. What is that?
I'm sorry, the STAR?
Yes, behavioral interviewing response technique was STAR.
I'm not sure I'm familiar with that specific technique.
For behavioral interview questions, I think what we're getting at here is you want to use a very, very specific example when you're given a behavioral or situational interview question. So the acronym to remember is STAR: situation, task, action, and result, quantifying whenever you can. So for audience members, tuck that away. You will get situational or behavioral interview questions. Any other questions?
That's why I love Job Club, because I actually learn as well, Caroline. One thing to add to that goes into the anticipating the questions. And so the simple answers, the example I gave about biggest sales ever, that's an example of what you don't want to do, as opposed to the second, I think aligns with the STAR technique of having the specifics, the details, and how you were involved in the situation to sell yourself.
I really like the way you gave those two examples, Ronnie. That was really helpful, very helpful.
Right.
Other questions that may have come in the chat box? Great tips. I also really like the way you reiterated the importance of closing, coming right out and saying, once you've expressed your interest in the position, is there anything that would prevent you from advancing me to the next interview, the next round of interviews?
Caroline, so many people will end the interview by simply saying, hey, it's really been nice talking to you, and I hope to hear back from you soon. I don't understand that. I mean, hope is obviously not a strategy. You're there to get a job. So, and this is one of the correlations with dating. You know, if you really like someone, do you hope that they call, or do you wish that they call? No, you ask them out again, and then you know exactly where you stand.
Two more questions, one that came in earlier, and then we have another one in person. How should someone follow up to get feedback? And I think part of it is if you close it, you can maybe get some immediate feedback. But if you haven't heard anything and you'd like to see if they can give you some feedback to help you in the future, is it appropriate to ask, and how would you do that?
Absolutely. If you're working with a recruiter, or you have someone you've networked with to help contact you, they're great resources for that. If you're working directly with the company, sometimes it's difficult. People are apprehensive of giving bad news or giving suggestions or coaching. If you set the table and make it appropriate for them in your asking of, please provide me feedback so I can learn moving forward. Or if you have any constructive advice for me as I continue my job search, people will typically respond to that. That's one of the pet peeves with the NLP group, is we're very direct with our feedback. We feel if candidates are investing their time and energy in the process, that they deserve that feedback. and good or bad, because how do they get better if you try and sugarcoat, the answer? So being very direct with either the recruiter, your contact, or even the hiring company, and letting them know it's okay to give you that direct feedback, good or bad, is appropriate.
Excellent. And then an audience question. I'll have you ask a question and then I'll repeat it.
I was wondering about the timing of the follow-up thank you email to the interviewer,
Okay.
especially if it's been over the phone or on Zoom, but theoretically you could have that email to them in 10 seconds after it ends.
Okay.
Is that fast?
Is it too aggressive or too fast to send your thank you email immediately after the interview? I know you want to do it soon, but does it look bad if it's too soon?
So I've read articles again that say between 12 and 24 hours. I like to do it as soon as possible. I don't think there is a too soon. This is just my opinion. And this is my rationalization for that. If you come out of the interview and the interviewer is kind of on the fence or not sure about you, and you send a really strong follow-up email as they're trying to determine whether to move you forward or not, it can only help. Now, on the other end, if you send poorly written follow-up email with typos and misspelled words, then it's going to torpedo your candidacy. So I differ a little bit from the experts on that. I don't think there is a too soon. It just shows interest. And again, back to the, dating and interviewing, the whole game of, waiting a day or two before you call the person just to play the game. Yeah, I don't buy into that. If you're interested, then follow up. Just make sure it's well written, no typos, no errors, and it articulates how you're the best candidate for the role.
I definitely agree with that. When serving on search committees, we typically make the decisions pretty fast while we're all together on who's going to advance. So I don't think too soon is an issue at all.
Right.
All right, Diana, I'm going to bring you up to close us out. Thank you so much, Ronnie. I always learn a lot from you, and I really appreciate your time and sharing with our group today. Thank you.
Absolutely, I enjoyed it.
Well, I absolutely agree with what a presentation. And if you look in the chat box, Roddy, you're going to see we've got some longtime attendees, viewers that have proclaimed this to be one of the best presentations that they've heard. So I think this is one for the ages. And again, we have those recordings, so you can revisit that when and if you need to. And we've also got first timers that were very impressed as well. Well, moving on, now's the time that we want to announce and give some job leads. So if we have employers that are on the line, I don't believe we have any in the audience today, but if online, please let us know if you have a job lead announcement that you would like to share. And if you don't want to do that live, then please email us at ukalumni@uk.edu, and we'll include them in our post-meeting job lead list. So have that to us by noon. Okay, we have someone that, give a mic there. Make sure the mic's on because it's okay. Krista, you can go ahead and unmute.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Sure.
Awesome. So my name is Krista Martin. I'm with Direct Employers Association. We are currently hiring a few positions. We're based out of Indianapolis. One is a remote sales engineer position, looking for at least 3 years, hopefully, of technical skills and knowledge, and being able to communicate effectively between tech people and non-tech people, our members, our partners, our internal staff, et cetera, and our product development team. And then we also have 2 hybrid member engagement representative positions. Those only require high school diploma. Some college or equivalent professional experience would be nice. Need to be technical, as I also have those technical skills, being able to navigate between software and systems and our members and internal staff, and working heavily with our membership development team. Being able to effectively use the Microsoft suite of products, and preferably CRM systems and practices as well. So if anybody's interested in checking out those 3 positions, I'll post that along with the Kentucky Career Center's Kentucky Career Portal, which we host for the state, and our ability site with the U.S. National Labor Exchange for Kentucky to search jobs, internships, apprenticeships, employers, labor market information, and more. So hopefully y'all can use those to help find your next new opportunity.
Thank you, Krista, and we will include those in our post email messages. Well, now it's time to talk about what's new and expected in our programming with our Job Club facilitators. And speaking of cooperative extension, I just want to again reiterate that lots is going on at the extension offices throughout the state. All 120 counties are geared up for fall programming. So you need to check with your local extension office and find out what's being offered, how you can participate, volunteer, and take advantage of those resources. And now we have an update from UK Steps, and Nicole Waite will be sharing those with us. Some highlights. Nicole?
There we go. You can probably hear me now, all right? Can you hear me okay, Diana?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, great. Okay, so once again, my name is Nicole Waite. I'm an employment specialist here at the University of Kentucky in STEPS, and STEPS is temporary employment within the University of Kentucky.
I need to speak a little louder, Nicole.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see if this helps here. All right, can you hear me, Diane?
No, it needs to be a little bit louder if you can.
Uh-oh, we might be having some technical difficulties there. I think I have it on full volume here. Can you hear me?
Yes, that's better. Yes.
That's a little better. Okay, I'll just hold this a little closer. So once again, I'm Nicole Waite, employment specialist here at the University of Kentucky in STEPS. And welcome you all. This was a great presentation. I hope you guys took some great notes about the interviewing process. And I just want to highlight a few jobs here. Hi, okay, I see a familiar online attendee there. So some positions that we have that I review here, we have several admin positions, proctors for exams. Of course, with school being open, there's a lot of positions open here on campus: heating and cooling specialists, maintenance, athletic event positions, workers, I should say, as well as some pharmacy positions and assistant professor positions. So with that being said, please visit our webpage. It's at www.uky.edu. And then you click on the temporary tab there. And then once you click on that tab, there are plenty of filters there where you can go in and put in keywords, or also just filter, like I said, just filter out different pay grades, etc., shifts, things like that to help narrow down your job search. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me here. Let's see here at nicole.waite@uky.edu. Of course, Carolyn, I believe that has some cards there inside for those who are attending today, some cards there also. So thank you again for attending Job Club, and I will see you all at the next meeting. And I don't want to fail to mention that I will share these jobs, and it'll go out in our newsletter today. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Nicole. And again, in our follow-up email newsletter, we will denote that there are lots of jobs with UK Steps, so you want to check that out. UK Alumni Career Services. And again, we just want to explain that they are there to help. There are certified career counselors and that just provide the whole array of resources and that you need for your job search. So learn more about that at www.ukalumni.net/career. Next time at Job Club, September the 12th, we'll be entering September, our official fall kickoff, and we have our fall schedules out. So you'll want to check that out in your newsletter as well as online on our website. Our presentation will be creating a she's a manager, marketing communications and engagement at Big Ass Fans. So be sure and make sure that you, this is a different approach, but it's certainly something that will move you forward in your career search when you have discovered and have confidence in the brand that you're creating. I also want to mention that September 12th is a big day because typically, annually, we have the opportunity for you to come to the Fayette County Extension Office and have a professional photo made for your profile, using it in LinkedIn or in any capacity that you want. This is free, and we just want you to take advantage of this. So if you don't ever, this is a time to come to personally into Job Club, because you will get this great resource, and we get that back to you in a very timely manner. So make sure you mark down September 12th. We will be taking these photos immediately after our presentation around 10 o'clock. So be there, mark it down, and dress for success that day so that you can get that professional photo. And with that, I want to thank you for participating, attending Job Club. I know you learned lots today, and there will be lots of questions that may come to you later. Send those to us. We'll be glad to communicate with you. And until next time, keep on searching, and we'll be here next time in September. Thank you.